Alex, the next question I've got for you is, what do organizations look for in a membership association, which is the network? I think you just mentioned in the previous questions about problem solver, relationships, and is there anything else you want to mention on there specifically? Yeah.
I would say there's three things. Number one is having enough coverage, right? That's like really critical. So you want to make sure you've got all the major countries covered, right? Major territories, China, Southeast Asia, key spots like Thailand, key spots in Europe, United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, France. Those key spots are all very critical in the network. Then the other thing I find that's super critical about the network is being able to communicate with somebody at the actual network that actually knows the members and has a insight into the member. So once again, I would just say, I would defer back to the relationship that we have is, if I have a problem I'm trying to solve, instead of like ferreting around let's say the network database and like emailing people and crossing my fingers, which essentially was more or less the process before with another network whose name we will not mention. We would you would have a staff member just start going through the list and hoping people reply to you. And when you get to certain more obscure like geographies, let's say like Africa or maybe even Mexico, for example, like you're not getting much of a response, or if you are, it's ludicrous, rates, and you even question if like the guy's NVOCC or IATA just by some of their responses. In your case, or in the case, especially of the network that why we're with you, and it's been important, is I reach out to you, and then you will make suggestions and recommendations of people to work with, and then you actually go even beyond that. You use your network outside of the company in general and your relationships that you've garnered over the last it's probably about 15 years now, right? Don't want to date.
No, actually,
I want to make us seem too old.
18 plus years. I'm very right? Old,
so, yeah,
Alex.
It's about that, yeah. Yeah, and you're very helpful in helping us with those relationships, and you've never basically hesitated to help. So yeah, so I would say those are the main things: that scale, responsiveness, and then also somebody at the network that actually knows what they're doing, that isn't like the owner's son that's grandfathered in just because, that kind of thing.
Thank you, Alex. I guess just to respond with what you just said, I think my goal and my passion is actually to grow all of my members. I think if you guys are like top #1 in the whole entire world, you don't need to join my network, because you don't need me much or the network much. All I need is that we like the teamwork. We know that everyone has their strengths, and if we get together, we become the strongest. And that's why I'm really happy when anyone reaches to me, because I know there's a chance that I can help and I can offer some value from whatever my network and connections are. Yeah. So thank you for mentioning that. And that actually leads to the next question, which is the last question. I've taken a lot of time today. It is asking you, will you recommend us to any other, freight forwarders or logistic companies outside there, and why?
I would definitely recommend you to anybody we know. Why? Because I want you to succeed. That's that's one of them. But another one would be, I know they would get the support that they would need, and that there would be a good communication, cohesiveness, and there's a certain level of trust. And so far, I can't stress this enough. Like, there's been a recent set of agents that you put us in touch with that is already been changing our business. and we're gonna have they're gonna have a big impact on our business basically in the next like couple days because Chinese holiday just ended. But I would recommend anyone just because of the value you bring. Now, I may not be exactly running out my front door to recommend the next US freight forwarder next to me as a competitor.
Alex.
And I don't necessarily want them to have access to the wonderful relationships that you provided to me. But, in Mexico, Brazil, other places, yes, I would definitely recommend they join as soon as possible.